Yo, what is up, guys? We are here for the blessed B patch we were all waiting for. So let's just go through the patch notes and I'll talk about some of the changes and I'll give you guys my meta predictions. For those of you guys who watch my stream, I will not be streaming today as it is past my time slot. So I'll test this stuff tomorrow, but I'll be playing a little bit off stream now. But very excited to get into this. Let's do this. So first up, we have Aatrox. This is live already, by the way. Aatrox is bug fix. Dark and revive animation is now intended shorter time. Bug fix is now invulnerable while reviving. Yeah, this was definitely a bug. A lot of people noticed this. I noticed this on PvE actually. Okay, Azir is getting taken down 5 and then 10. Remember, anytime Azir gets taken down, that counts all of his soldiers. So this is on his spell damage, right? So this is actually a 30 buff. Does this make Azir not playable? No, definitely play Azir. So in the spots that you wanted to play Azir, like strategist Azir comps, probably still going to be good. Let's look at some other changes in here, see if that changes it. I'm really sad about the Cho'Gath being nerfed. Cho'Gath never is meta and finally is meta. I think in like the really good spots to play Cho Bidem, you can probably still play it. And especially with the things that are just like grossly OP in the meta, got nerfed. He probably needed to be nerfed now that I'm thinking about it because Bilgewater is not going to be as oppressive and all that good stuff. So this nerf makes sense. Cho Bidem is very strong. Echo, bugfix will no longer try to rogue dash while he's casting. Yeah, I've noticed this. And will no longer try to cast while he is rogue dashing. This should address cases where Echo cast on himself. This happened to me yesterday and I lost a game because of it. Very sad. And then to compensate for that, they are nerfing him a little bit. Remember, this bug actually does occur quite often. So that is why they're also nerfing this, as well as rogues are OP. So for all of you Echo gamers out there, maybe pour one out, but I mean, rogues are OP, guys. So let's see. We'll talk more about this in a second. So Misfortune is getting a small nerf. Definitely needed. Misfortune is very good, especially with blue buff. It's pretty insane. So yeah, definitely needed. Nyla, that also hurts the strategist Azir comp a little bit, but you don't always have to play MF in that comp. Okay, Nyla is getting a small attack speed nerf here, and then cleave damage is going down a little bit. If you guys don't know why Nyla has felt so OP, it is mostly because of Bilgewater, but Nyla is still one of the best carries. Like I see a lot of people play her in like with the Challenger emblem and in built diff, she does very strong in that build, right? And she is still the carry in like Ionia based builds, even when she doesn't have Ionia spat. So it's fine for her to be nerfed right here. Still going to be very good. She's still definitely better than Xayah here, I think. All right, Poppy, Radiant item being changed, definitely needed. If you guys have faced a Poppy with a Gargoyle Stoneplate, it is broken on stage 2. They even took down the numbers of this item, and it is still broken. Protector's Vow should put it in a better spot. Maybe if you have the option between playing like an opener with Poppy as your main tank or maybe a Bruiser or something like that, maybe consider the other alternative now, opposed to just you always wanted to go for Poppy if you had the Demacia opener. Okay, Kiana is getting a big nerfs here. So these are huge nerfs. She's getting a 50 health taken down, and then she will cast far less often. So she will not just CC bot your backline, and especially like sometimes Kiana will cast on frontline, then get a rogue proc and go to the backline, and then will cast very quickly. So now that'll occur much less quickly. So this is a good place. I think this is a good place to nerf her, honestly. And then spell range is going down, so she won't just be CCing your entire backline. This also hurts like Talia builds if you wanted to do the Kiana tech in there. I don't think a lot of people were doing that right now because it was too hard to play anything that wasn't not the top 3 builds, which were in order: Bilgewater, Strategist Azir, and Rogue. So yeah, we'll talk more about overall what we think about this in a minute. Let's just get through the rest of the patch notes. All right, Bilgewater, this is the big talking point. This is the big nerf here. So three piece. Bilgewater is actually one of the best openers in the game. People get it twisted about Bilgewater. It's not OP because of the opener. The opener is very good, and 3 Bilgewater is very good, but a lot of openers are actually very strong. Like Sork Bruiser opener is super strong. Shurima Noxus opener is super strong. Challenger opener is pretty good. So like, this is fine. Really what makes this Bilgewater very strong is 5 and 7. The 3-piece is strong, but this definitely does hurt the opener quite a bit if you guys are playing around the opener. So maybe consider playing a different opener if you guys were defaulting a lot to Bilgewater. Then this is not so great. So the flat damage is really what we're looking at here, because the flat damage was insane. You would see a Jarvan with the emblem at 7 just jump into the backline and nearly one shot the backline just because the flat damage applying. So this is a great place to nerf this. I think Bilgewater vertical is still going to be good. It is unbelievably broken on before the B patch. It is so unbelievably broken. So I think it'll actually still be a playable build in the right spot. You won't just hard force it. Okay, Strategist is getting taken down a little bit. So look at this. Let's stick with this. So let's see. Where is the spots? So it looks like the 4 and 5. Is that the 4 and 5? Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah, that's the 4 and 5. Okay. Yeah, the vertical is very strong on Strategist. So if you want to play Juggernaut-based Azir builds, that build barely got touched. So in that variation, that barely got touched. But if you're going to add MF and play around a Strategist emblem, that build is significantly nerfed. So if you're playing around Azir, my guess is to probably play more around the Juggernaut variations, and I think the build will still be strong in the right spot for sure. And we'll go through some itemization stuff with Azir in a second as well. The boss. So if you're wondering about the boss is actually really OP. Just ask Ramblin'. It's on his comps list. It's one of his favorite comps. It's just nobody's ever really seen this because Bilgewater has been blinding us. Rogues has been blinding us, right? So that is why we're seeing a nerf here. It makes complete sense. Shrima's Legacy is disabled. It was causing a bug where your Shrima's Legacy would hit your own team sometimes, and so yeah, it needs to be disabled. They can't fix things like this in micro patches. And this is another thing. Kiana is bugged. If she's at full mana, she will cast into nothing if no one is in her range. So I really wish that would have been fixed with this, but obviously they can't do things like that in B patches or micro patches, so that is why we don't have this change here. I really wanted to see that as a compensation, but they're just really trying to get Kiana rogues kind of out of the meta a little bit. It's a little bit oppressive right now. So, all right. What the Forge? What the Forge is one of the freest top 4 augments in the game, especially if you already have good tempo. It is a free top 4, not always first, but a free top 4 usually. Items, Rapid Fire Cannon going down. I'm a little sad this is going down because this actually hurts Azir's best in slot. So Azir's getting nerfed in like 4 different ways. So Azir's BIS right now is RFC Rage Wave +1. So you actually probably don't build RFC anymore. You might look for just flat AP items, GS, maybe a Shiv instead. So I actually really like the RFC meta, like building RFC and playing Flex. I think it's cool. So kind of bummed out about that. And you probably don't go double RFC on Nyla anymore. You probably just do the 1. The 1 is very powerful. So probably just the 1 now. And Radiant RFC going down as well, just to be in line with that. And then bug fixes here. Training dummies no longer can be recombobulated, no longer deal tactician damage. So let's do a meta prediction real quick, what I think is going to be strong. So rogues, I think rogues are going to be fine in the right spot. It is not something you're going to hard force unless you're a one-trick player like people like Jirachi and that sort of thing. If you are a one-trick player, I think the build is still playable and will still net you probably a good average placement. But other than that, I don't think you force rogues unless you are pure one-trick. I think it is just something you play in the right spot, like with Vampiric Blades, with a Rogue opener, with like a Graves 2-star opener, Vampiric Blades. Like that'll still be very good. Cho Bidem, I think, in the right spot, whenever you're going to hit a Cho 3 for free, we have like Golden Ticket or something like that, or you have some insane items, all the good stuff. If you're playing around Stars Are Born or whatever, and you're playing the Cho'Gath, I think it'll still be good. Definitely will still be good. Especially with everything else getting nerfed around. This Cho'Gath nerf is not that big, considering that. Now, Azir, I think Azir is getting taken down a lot, because his best in slot, I think, has changed. His strategist variation is not going to be good. I think if you want to play Azir in the right spot, I think will be good. And you probably want to play around the Juggernaut variation. Nyla, man, I'm really not sure about Nyla. Maybe we'll have like the 6 Ionia 4 Vanquisher builds with Ionia emblem playing around Nyla. I think Nyla is still going to be good in the builds that she normally functions in, but she's not going to be like that unit that you just like flex in every single comp if you have items to play her, regardless if you can activate her traits or not. I bet she is going to be strong in her builds. I do not think Xayah is going to be strong on this patch. What you do not see here is maybe I'm wrong about that, but what you do not see any changes to Aphelios. You see this first comment right here. You guys can't see it because my camera is covering it, but it says, my other thing, no Xayah, or this guy says no Xayah or Aphelios buffs. AD is unplayable till next patch. That is not true, I don't think. You have to contextualize whenever you're thinking about comps. Things don't have to be buffed for it to get better, because the things that are countering those builds get nerfed. So, for example, Aphelios has a terrible matchup into the following builds: Rogues, Strategist Azir. Has a terrible matchup into Rogues. I think that's pretty obvious. You have a big front line. You have 2 backliners like Silco, Azir, and Jinx, and then they get dove by the Rogues. I think that's extremely obvious why that's a bad matchup. And then Strategist Azir is not necessarily a bad matchup. It's just Strategist Azir does exactly what Aphelios wants to do, but better. It stalls better. It deals more damage. Now, that build has been gutted, and will still be okay still be good in the right spots. So I think look out for Aphelios. I think Aphelios, Bastion, the base build is for Bastion, play Soraka, Jinx, Silco, backline with your Aphelios. I think that build will actually be pretty solid this patch. I was playing it a lot last patch, and it was not going great for me, but that's because I was getting railed by Bilgewater players and Strategist Azir players and Rogues. He had really bad matchups. I think that build will actually be good, so please look out for the Aphelios build. I don't know if it'll be super meta, but definitely look out for it. Look out for Ionia base builds with Ionia emblem on Nyla. I think that'll be an angle to play. I think you can play the strategist build in the right spots. Look out for some reroll techs maybe. Slayers will be good. Slayers were already good. Vertical Noxus is very good with Mordekaiser carry, so look out for Mordekaiser and look out for Slayer base builds as well. Anyways, guys, I'm excited to play this patch. And remember, hey, catch me live on my stream tomorrow. Good luck on the patch. I appreciate you guys.